Hi everyone, I'm Chaplain Joanne Martindale. I'm the Command Chaplain for the 63rd Readiness Division. Great to be with you today. Today's topic is everyone should go to the park. I wanted to talk about this today because sometimes we get so busy that we forget to go and observe nature and observe people. So I remember this one day where I had about 30 minutes before I was going to go somewhere, and I thought I just want to be outside. We certainly know what that's like now with COVID, with everyone inside. Don't you just crave going outside and seeing some flowers, or smelling the air, or feeling the breeze, or seeing the clouds? We just want to be outside. So I did this one day. I decided I'm going to go to the park. Just 30 minutes, going to go to the park. And then I'll go back to work or whatever I was doing that day. So I'm going to the park and I'm thinking about the outside, and I'm grateful for me as a chaplain, grateful to God for another day. And as I'm going and just kind of walking around the park, also trying to get my steps in, right? So I'm walking around the park, not just there and sitting on a bench. No, I'm trying to be a good military person, getting my steps around the park. So I probably did, 10 laps around the park or so. And as I'm sitting there, every time I go around, I see this one gentleman sitting on a park bench. And he's an older man, maybe he's in his 80s or something. He's got a full head of gray hair and a little bit bent over with the back a bit, but sitting in his chair, and he's reading a book. And I said, I wonder what he's reading. Just thinking about it, always looking for a new book to read. So I stopped my incessant pacing around the park for a moment, and I went over and I said, "Hello, sir, how are you today?" And I was just in civilian clothes. And he goes, "I'm good, young lady. How are you?" And I said, "I'm great. I just did my steps around the park." And he goes, "I used to do steps around the park. Now I don't do so many steps anymore. Now I walk from the car to the bench. And that's about as far as I can go." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, what are you reading?" And he said, "I'm reading a book. You may have heard of it." And I said, "Sure." And I couldn't see because it had a cover on it, a worn cover. And I said, "Sir, what are you reading? I can't see the name of it." He goes, "I'm reading a very important book called the Bible." I said, "The Bible? Now, I have heard about the Bible." Kind of kidding, because he didn't know me from Adam. He didn't know I was a chaplain, that I had studied in a couple places, and I had studied the Bible for much of my life. But I didn't tell him that. So I said, "Well, which book in the Bible do you like the best?" He goes, I would be hard pressed to pick which book that I like the best. I said, "Okay, how about which story do you like the best?" And he goes, "There's so many good stories in the Bible. How am I going to choose?" And he goes, "Before I choose," he goes, "have you ever heard of the Bible?" I said, "I have heard of the Bible." And he goes, "Well, have you ever read it?" And I said, "I have read it." He goes, "One time?" I said, "I probably read it maybe 10 times. He goes, "You've read the Bible 10 times? I've never met a civilian that isn't a pastor reading the Bible. How'd you come to read the Bible so much?" I said, "Well, I have to be honest. I am a chaplain in the military, 29 years, and I've been a civilian pastor for 31. He goes, "You're a pastor? Oh my goodness. Wow, this is my lucky day. So what we can do is just sit around and talk about the Bible if you want." I said, "That would be fine. We can talk about the stories that we love." But you know what I loved about him? Is he wasn't afraid to tell a total stranger the book that he liked and why he liked it. So he would talk about Naomi and Ruth in the Bible. He would talk about Hezekiah. He would talk about some of the kings. He would talk about the stories as if they happened yesterday. And he shared with me some of the ways that he shared those stories were ways that I had never thought about before. It's interesting that you can read a sacred text, no matter what text that is. Maybe for you it's the Quran, or maybe it's a different holy text, the Bhagavad Gita, or whatever faith tradition you're in. Have you ever read the text the same way every time, and then you hear from a stranger the way they interpret the text, and it becomes new again? I'm wondering about that for us. I want us to think about a couple of things. One, make sure we take time to go to the park and wait for the unexpected. because this man and I talking was the unexpected, but he made my day. And the other one thing I want us to think about is how can we look at something that we know really well? Like, I'm a minister, I know the Bible pretty well, but now I know it exceptionally well because he shared his way of seeing the Bible. So today, as you think about those items, think of how you can pay attention, think of how you can see something new you hadn't experienced before, and learn from someone who's different from you.